Well, that's not ideal. Four-star quarterback commit Blake Hebert today just announced his decommitment from Clemson. We got a lot to discuss here. I'm going to try to keep it quick, but first and foremost, this is not ideal for Clemson, as I just said. Um, this is the second straight recruiting class where you failed to land your priority target at quarterback. Um, I think that the biggest question here is kind of where do you go from here? Because this is your third decommit this month, in the past month, in terms of, and these are guys that you thought you had committed for the long haul, and now you are in a situation where you've lost two defensive line commitments, and now you lost your first ever commit from this 2025 class, and kind of one of the centerpieces of the class in Blake Hebert. He announced his commitment a couple of minutes later to Notre Dame. And now you're kind of in a situation where you're scrambling to find a quarterback with a couple of months till signing day. That's not great. It's not great. I don't want to sugarcoat it. Can't spin it any way that'll make it seem more positive than it is. Because the reality is now you're potentially looking at a hole in sort of your quarterback depth chart for the future. I mean, if you keep K Klubnik for another year, presumably, if you can hold on to Chris Vizina, you'll have him to be your starting quarterback in 2026. But behind him, you're going to have two true freshmen and incoming true freshman quarterbacks in Tate Reynolds and Brock Bradley. And, Tate Reynolds, I think I really like as a prospect, but, he's a guy that has the MLB calling his name as well. He's a fantastic baseball prospect. And Brock Bradley is another raw quarterback. I don't think either of them are going to come in ready to go. Tate Reynolds has only been playing quarterback for 2 seasons to this point. So the question is where does Clemson go from here? I don't really know, to be honest with you. I mean, you have a couple of options. Maybe you can flip a currently committed quarterback. You can go and find an uncommitted guy that maybe you like and is kind of under the radar. There's not a whole lot of blue chip talent out there that's readily available at this point in the cycle. So I'm wondering what the solution is there. Another option is to fill that hole in the transfer portal, and obviously that's a discussion that we've had numerous times, just as Clemson fans, and certainly the national media has gotten their fair share of licks in on that topic. But that is an option on the table if they choose to. Or the third option is to stick with how things are going, and you don't take a quarterback in the 2025 class and take that risk. I don't think that. I mean, that wouldn't be what I go with, but that is an option on the table. But yeah, this is not good. And Clemson has been fighting tooth and nail to keep some of the guys in this class committed. When teams in the recruiting trail and in this recruiting landscape smell blood in the water, they're going to pounce. Clemson is having a successful season, but there are things beyond on-field success on the recruiting trail that influence these kids nowadays, and I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. And that's something that Clemson has had to they've had to combat it, and it's a battle that they've lost a couple of times now, and so this is not normal for Clemson to have this many decommitments in a single cycle. But that's just a testament to where we are in college football. So this is not great. Losing your quarterback commit for the 2025 class this late in the cycle. And I don't think Blake Hebert was some outstanding quarterback prospect, like a guy that was going to a program changer. But again, this affects your depth. This affects your future development plan. It affects a lot about how you choose to build your future teams. And so now this is something that Garrett Riley, Dabo, and this offensive staff are going to have to figure out how to work around in some way, whether that is taking another quarterback in this class or going into the transfer portal or, staying with status quo. I mean, the question is really up to them. But again, I don't want to sugarcoat it because that's not what I do here. This is not ideal for this class and not ideal for the program. So we'll see how they pivot. I'm not in panic mode by any means. I'm not like saying like, oh man, the sky is falling, because sometimes it can feel that way. But I'm not in sky is falling mode, but I am deeply concerned. So that is something to monitor. Um, and we'll have more updates. Where I'm trying to do more of these sort of breaking news short videos, so you guys don't have to wait for the live show to kind of get me and Tiger Paw Craven's thoughts. So if you haven't already, please hit the like button. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And make sure that you tune in to the All In Show every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. And of course, me and Tiger Paw Craven are also live after every Clemson football game on Saturdays. So we'll see y'all then as well. But until then, I'm Jordan Bowman. Go Tigers.